A lone rider galloped across the endless plains, the dust rising in a silent golden cloud behind them. The wind, a constant companion on the vast Eurasian steppe, whispered stories of power, ambition, and unimaginable courage. Centuries ago, from these same boundless grasslands, a man was born who would not only unite scattered warring tribes, but would forge the largest contiguous empire the world has ever seen. This is the profound, sweeping narrative of the Mongol Empire and its legendary paradigm-shifting leader, Genghis Khan. The Mongol Empire was one of the largest and most influential empires in world history. At its zenith, its colossal dominion stretched from the frigid Pacific Ocean in the east to the heart of Central and Eastern Europe in the west. From the frozen tundras of Siberia to the searing deserts and formidable mountains of Central Asia, their rule indelibly shaped history and established connections that persist even today. But the true enigma lies in its origin. How did a collection of small, perpetually feuding nomadic tribes rise so rapidly to control such vast, diverse, and distant lands? The answer begins with a boy named Temujin, born around 1162 near the shores of Lake Baikal. His world was one of brutal, unrelenting tribal conflict, marked by shifting loyalties and constant peril. His father, Yasuge, a minor chieftain, was poisoned by rivals when Temujin was still young, perhaps only 9 years old. This sudden tragedy plunged his family, his mother, Hoelin, and his siblings, into abject poverty and forced them to struggle for sheer survival, abandoned by Yasuge's former allies. Temujin faced betrayal, danger, and hardship from an age when most are sheltered. He was even captured and briefly enslaved by a rival tribe, the Taichiots, an experience that undoubtedly forged the steel of his character. Legends surrounding his birth are often cited to foreshadow his destiny, most famously the tale that he was born gripping a blood clot in his hand, a powerful symbol signifying that he was destined to one day rule the world and shed the blood of his enemies. The process by which Temujin transitioned from an outcast struggling for survival into a universal ruler was a protracted, strategic, and often ruthless affair. It was built upon a foundation of personal charisma, unbreakable loyalty, and military genius. Initially, Temujin sought alliances, notably with his father's Anda, sworn brother, Togrul Khan of the Karait tribe, and with his childhood friend, Jamuka. These alliances were crucial for his early protection and the recovery of his first wife, Borta, who was kidnapped shortly after their marriage. However, as Temujin's power grew, these allies eventually became rivals. Temujin's core genius lay in his ability to transcend the traditional, divisive tribal structure. He didn't merely want to win battles, he wanted to create a unified Mongol identity. He began to integrate defeated warriors and even rival leaders into his own forces, promoting individuals based on merit and proven loyalty, rather than solely on family lineage or tribal affiliation. This revolutionary concept broke the cycle of revenge and tribalism that had plagued the steppes for centuries. The culminating moment came in 1206. After systematically defeating or integrating all his major rivals, including the Tatars, the Karait, the Naimans, and ultimately his former Anda, Jamuka, Temujin convened a great council, known as a Kurultai, on the banks of the Onon River. Before the assembled chieftains and warriors, he was declared the supreme leader of all Mongols and bestowed with the sacred title Chingis Khan, meaning universal ruler. This moment officially marked the birth of the Mongol Empire, Yeke Mongol Uls, the great Mongol nation. The Mongol campaigns that followed were the direct result of Chingis Khan's brilliant military innovations. His army was not simply a collection of brave fighters, it was a highly organized, disciplined, and terrifyingly efficient war machine. Chingis Khan reorganized the entire nomadic society into a military structure based on the decimal system. The largest unit was the Tumen, 10,000 men, which was divided into Mingun, Jaghun, and Arban. This structure, coupled with the concept of collective responsibility, if a member of an Arban fled, the entire group was punished, instilled absolute discipline and cohesion. The core of the Mongol army was its fearsome light and heavy cavalry. Each soldier typically traveled with multiple hardy Mongolian ponies, allowing them to switch mounts frequently and cover distances of up to 100 miles a day, a mobility that was unprecedented in warfare. The light cavalry were masters of the feigned retreat, a tactic where they would pretend to flee, luring the enemy into a disorganized pursuit before suddenly turning their horses and unleashing a deadly volley of arrows from their composite bows.
The Mongols rarely fought without exhaustive preparation. Their extensive intelligence system, relying on spies, scouts, and detailed reports from local populations, allowed them to plan every move meticulously. Their primary food source was often the milk and meat of their own horses, reducing the need for cumbersome supply lines and enabling lightning-fast campaigns. Though initially weak in siege warfare, the Mongolia quickly adapted, constructing engineers and artisans from conquered regions to create catapults, trebuchets, siege towers, and psychological terror weapons, such as hurling disease-ridden corpses over city walls. With this unmatched force, the Mongol expansion began in earnest. The first major campaign, starting around 1207, was against the northern Chinese states, specifically the Shisha and the powerful Yuan Dynasty. By 1215, the Mongols had captured Zhengdu, modern Beijing. Chingis Khan then launched the catastrophic invasion of the Khwarezmian Empire after the Shah executed Mongol envoys. Cities like Bukhara and Samarkand were devastated. Mongol generals Jebe and Subutai pushed into the Russian steppes and defeated a united Rus-Kuman force at the Battle of the Khalkha River in 1223. Chingis Khan died in 1227, but the momentum he created was unstoppable. Under his son Ogadai, the Mongols invaded Europe, conquering Rus, Poland, and Hungary. Batu Khan established the Golden Horde. Hulegu Khan destroyed Baghdad in 1258, ending the Abbasid Caliphate and establishing the Ilkhanate. Meanwhile, Kublai Khan completed the conquest of China and founded the Yuan Dynasty in 1271. Though famed for brutality, the Mongols also fostered stability, trade, and cultural exchange, a period called the Pax Mongolica. Their vast control secured the Silk Road, allowing safe travel for merchants and explorers like Marco Polo. Technologies such as paper money, printing techniques, and gunpowder spread westward. Chingis Khan implemented a written legal code known as the Yasa, established a rapid postal system called the Yam, and adopted a policy of religious tolerance toward Buddhism, Islam, Christianity, and Taoism. Promotion was based on loyalty and ability, not ethnicity or faith. Yet the empire eventually fractured. The division into 4 major khanates caused rivalry and civil conflict. Governing large sedentary populations proved difficult. In China, heavy taxation and resentment led to rebellion, and the Mongols were expelled by 1368, replaced by the Ming Dynasty. Disease, especially the Black Death, spread along the same trade routes the Mongols had protected, devastating populations and weakening states. Though the empire collapsed, its legacy endures. It transformed global trade, connected civilizations, and reshaped politics across Eurasia. The Mongols spread technologies such as the compass, gunpowder, and paper money, and forced resettlements led to unprecedented cultural exchange. Today, Mongolia is a small nation, but the legacy of Chingis Khan remains immense. A story of determination, discipline, vision, and the power of unity. The Mongols bridged worlds. They may have fallen, but the echoes of their achievements continue to shape history. This is the story of the Mongols,
a story of power, ambition, and legacy that will never be forgotten.